of there. Okay, first thing we're going to do this morning is we are going to do a combination of two ovals. Now, some of you might struggle with drawing an oval. Now, if you'll look, my paper is vertically in front of me right now. This is vertical, not horizontal like that, but vertical. And when it comes to drawing ovals, I'm going to turn this way for right now, and I'm going to put a parenthesis right here, just like that. And then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to put another parenthesis straight across from it, about the same size. I'll zoom that in. Then all I'm going to do is put a bowed line between them to connect them. I'm drawing mine a little dark just so you can see it up on the screen. Remember, keep your lines fairly light, okay? And the next oval I'm going to draw, I want to keep really light because we're definitely going to do some erasing off it. Okay, the next one I'm going to do the same way, but I'm going to come down here towards the bottom. I'm just going to put a light guideline so I know where to put the bottom of my parenthesis. So I'm going to draw one right here, and I'm going to draw one right here. They're not, I should have that further away. Try to have an equal distance, so I'm going to bring that one out just a little more. And then I'm going to curve it up, and I'm going to curve it down. So now I have two ovals intersecting each other. What we're trying to avoid is having one oval look like this and another one look like this. Okay, that looks not so hot. The other big problem is if you get an oval that looks like this. Okay, where one end's a lot wider than the other end, starts to look more like a guitar pick or an egg or something. We want to try to not have that happen. So that's what we hope for. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put some ears on this. And again, if I get too far ahead, you let me know. I'll put some fairly big ears on this, which is just basically kind of a C shape and a backward C shape. Two pretty big ears. This needs to be a little bit bigger. Should have probably just stuck with what I first drew. All right, now let's do some erasing. This vertical oval that's in here, in the bottom half, I want to erase it out. This is why it's so important to keep your lines light, because if you do it dark like I did so you can see it for the screen, you notice you can still kind of see those lines. That's not desirable, but it is what it is when you're trying to demonstrate. So I'm going to change things just a little bit, and I'm going to come right in here, and where the ear connects, right here, this line and this line come together. I'm going to come around this side and kind of bring it down, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. See what I've done there? Just bring it down, bringing a curved line down. This is not a nose right here in here, but I am going to erase it out of there. Yes. The what by the ears? This line right here to here? No, not on this one. But that's a good question. All right, I'm gonna turn my paper sideways because it's easier for me to draw this way. We're basically gonna draw a number 3, and I'm gonna just come right between this line and this line, and I'm gonna come right in here and put basically a number 3 right here. Okay, so you can see that. So when I turn it this way, it's a 3 laying down, and then inside that I'm gonna put a little parallel line, a little C shape and a little backward C shape for the nostrils, and now I have a little nose. That is not a nose for a little beaver or a little squirrel. What's that a nose for, maybe? Monkey. Very good. Yep. And that's about the easiest way I know to do a monkey nose. It's just reduced into a simple shape that we really recognize. Okay, from the middle of the nostril right here, so this is the middle of this C shape right here. From the middle of that, I'm going to go up fairly high and come back down. I'm going to do the same from this side. Come back down and make my eye openings, okay? Hopefully nobody's struggling too hard with this. After you guys drew that rose, this stuff should be like a cakewalk. By the way, those roses look pretty darn good too. All right, so we'll go ahead and we're going to give him another oval. We're going to just stick with the oval shapes. Now this will be a very awake, alert-looking monkey. Put that little deal in there, and that's just the shine. We want him to look like he's wide awake. Unlike your art teacher this morning, who's very tired. Really tired, but what do you do when you're really tired? You just keep moving forward. That's what you do. Yes, you have a Mountain Dew for breakfast and keep going. I don't recommend the Mountain Dew bowl. It's not that good for you. Okay. Give you just a second to get those eyes filled in, then we're going to do the inside of the ear, and we'll move on. All right, inside the ear, starting at the edge of the head, parallel line that comes around and gets a little closer to the edge as you come down and then stop. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm not going to go all the way around. When I draw the next character, I'm not going to draw lines as dark because it just makes me crazy to have these. Hopefully you can just see it well enough from the up on the screen. But this is a really good example of why we don't want to draw dark. Because you can erase and erase and erase and those lines just stay there. Okay, over here, actually I'm going to put another little line that's shorter for the inside of the ear, just like that. We'll call that good on his ears. That little short line. We'll give him just a few hairs. We're going to do some shorter hairs over here. And I'm going to do some longer ones come off here. Maybe just a little one right in the middle. Okay. Almost looks like a spider crawling on his head. Couple little thin eye. Actually, I'm going to just go like this. Give him kind of a unibrow going across there because it's more of a brow than eyebrows. You could actually bring that up and around just like that, and then you'd color in this part. Leave that part lighter. That. I can bring it down this way too. Hopefully that makes sense. But we're going to make him a really happy monkey. So we're going to come way over here and put a big corner of his mouth on each side by doing those parenthesis shapes, and then putting a big old smile that comes across and a little line right here. And he looks like a very happy monkey right now. And then a little bitty neck, little skinny neck coming out right in the middle. Don't make it too tiny skinny, but it's not going to be a big fat neck. All right, we're going to move kind of fast through the next character. Next character, we're going to draw a large oval, but it's a little fatter one. I showed you how to draw the oval with the parenthesis. If it helps you at all, if you can just draw them without it, you're welcome to do that too. So this is a little fatter one, okay? Not real wide, but it is quite fat. And then the top one, I'm not going to draw it all the way down through. I'm just going to make like an upside down U, and it's not going to be very tall. Okay, so I could draw that all the way down, but I'm just going to erase it, so that's why I don't want to do it. So I'm just going to draw a wider head up here. So notice how this one's more narrow from here to here. This is a wider one right here. That's on purpose. Now right in the middle, hopefully you know where the middle is. You can just guess. We're going to put a pretty big nose on this. And I'm going to curve down right here, and then I'm going to just bring that slightly above my line so it's a pretty good sized nose. You can see my line right there, just barely above it. Then I'm going to erase that line out of there. So his nose is clean. But I like doing a combination of ovals or circles and ovals because it makes our cartoons get even more complex than just doing a circle. All right, I'm going to give him a big old set of eyes. He's got big eyes. I'm going to come very close to this edge. And everything on this is just a little bit wider, a little bit stockier than what we did on the monkey. The monkey had tall, skinny eyes. This one has short, wider eyes, okay? This is more of a blocky, stocky character that we're working on. No, but it could be used for a dog really easy. That is, excuse me, that is one of the things when we draw these things. You can adapt them to make them into a lot of things. You could make this into a dog, a cat, a squirrel, a chipmunk, all kinds of stuff when you're doing ovals going two directions. We're going to actually do a couple of people here in a second. So we'll go ahead and put some big eyes on this one. We'll just curve it right here like he's looking right at you. Put a little shine on that eye. Okay, so he's got his great big eyes right there. Give you just a second to draw those, fill that in. Trying to go a little bit fast today because we're out of here in 16 minutes, and I'm trying to get as much in as we can before it's time to go. And then you guys, in case you forgot, you have a 3-day weekend. You have Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. Yep. Nice little break. Let's see, and then in March, you get another break, a spring break, and then in April, you get another break, and then in May, you get the big break for all summer after May, towards the end of May. All right, we're going to put kind of like his little muzzle, but instead of drawing like 2 circles, we're just going to put like a little bird flying upside down. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to come up from the bottom. I don't want it too close to the bottom here. I'll come right up in the middle. Curve those 2 lines up. So you basically want these 2 points to line up there. Pretty good, okay? And then right here in the middle, I'm going to draw a line that goes straight down and stops before it gets to the bottom. And I think I'll turn my paper upside down just because try to not confuse you. And I'm going to turn this into a letter T. So now I got a letter T right there. Then I'll draw a diagonal line that goes back to that little muzzle I made. So it'll be one right there, one right there. You want this to be a wide, thick tooth, not a skinny one. If we were drawing something like a porcupine, we'd do little skinny teeth. This has wide teeth, okay, because this is going to be a little beaver. They got big old chomper right there. Because it is a beaver, do beavers have big ears or little ears, folks? Little ears. So we're going to come over here, put a little ear here, like a little half a U, or actually it's complete U, but it's not very big. And then a little line in it, just like that, to show the inside of the ear. That's all we need to do on that ear. And I erased the top of its head because I'm going to put some hair on it here in just a second. And I had a little flaw right there I needed to erase anyway, so I just erased it. And then with his hair, I'm going to put like looks like a little 3 going that way, and then triplet on the other side, so it's not exactly the same. I don't want necessarily want the hair to look identical one side to the other. So you can see the little backwards 3 right there, or a lowercase m if I turn it that way. And then over here, I start off the same way. I get a 3, but I make it more narrow, and then I throw a 3rd one in. Okay. Just gives it a lot more expression. And we're going to give him a couple of little thick eyebrows. We're just going to do those kind of rectangle shape. Those thick eyebrows look better on him than they would on a monkey. See comparison there. And then we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Those are actually called whisker tracks. That's what those are. And we'll put his little whiskers, and remember to put a little curve to them, and they don't need to be really long, okay? They're not particularly long. Now what's going to make him look more like a beaver than a squirrel or something? A squirrel would have a similar neck to what our monkey does. It'd have a little skinny neck right there. But on a beaver, they're a big, stocky animal, so his shoulders are going to come clear out here up by the top, off the side there. And now you can see if that's where his shoulders are, that's a pretty stocky animal right there. Okay? So you don't even really see his neck, because his neck's so thick, it's kind of neck, body, all one unit kind of thing on there. If you drew him out with like little hands and paws, it'd be something like that, okay? Okay, so it's basically exactly what we just drew, just with a little more, adding the arms and some hands. So you get an idea of why I put those there, kind of the same thing. All right, let's have fun, because I want to get this last one done, because this one's one of my favorites. So on this one, we're going to draw an oval down here in the bottom left corner. Fold this up down the bottom left corner. And I'm going to make this one almost like a circle, but not quite. It's just slightly wider than a circle. Circle would be perfectly round. This one's just slightly wider. And then I'm going to put a long, I'm going to draw it fairly light, long, skinny upside down U on top. So he's similar to the monkey, except he's got a skinnier top of his head. Monkey has a wider head. This has got a really skinny top on the head. Then I'm going to do something kind of weird with this. I'm going to take a line, and I'm going to put it right there, curved line right at the top, like I just cut off the top, and I actually am going to cut off that top. So zip. Like, why would we be drawing an upside down U if we're just going to cut it off? Well, you'll find out here in just a second. Just wanted to get the width on there right. Now it's going to get even a little bit stranger. I'm going to come along here, and I'm going to put a long parallel line that goes above it like that, and then curve it right back into the side. Just like that. It's like, how's that a person's head? Well, stick around and you'll find out. I'm going to put another little parallel line that goes right above it, really, 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 really close to it. And then I'll let it just blend right in on each end, just like that. So I'll hold that up close so you can see exactly what I did there. Really skinny, really close lines. So you got a little, just little tiny, that's really close together, those two parallel lines. And then they actually do connect, so they don't stay parallel on each end. Now I'm going to make a big fat teardrop shape right in the middle. So I'm going to erase a little bit out of the middle right here. So I got kind of an opening, and I'm going to bring kind of a big old fat teardrop shape right there. I'm going to draw, well, am I getting too far ahead? Because I'm trying to move along here on this one. Hopefully I'm not getting too far ahead of you. We all good? All right, lowercase m right here. Like that. And then right above it, a couple of little skinny eyebrows on this one. And I'm going to put the mouth on here, but I'm going to shape it just a little bit weird. So I just kind of come down, it's kind of an L shape is what it is. I've just sort of rounded off the corners all. And then I just open the mouth a little bit. And underneath this, I'll put a bottom lip, just like that. And if your bottom lip goes below your initial oval there, that's okay. Just erase out where it goes through the lip so it doesn't have a line going through it. Because everybody's going to look a little different where they drew it. I'm going to just kind of put a little line going that way. I want everything to look just slightly distorted here. I like this character. I think he's a fun one. So I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna put an ear on this side and an ear on this side. I'm gonna bring it really close to that thing up there. And I'm gonna do the same thing over here. And a line inside with the little shorter line, just like we did on the monkey, because similar ears. Okay. So I'll hold that up close so you see exactly what I did. I'm just darkening this in so it's, so I'm not going to erase it. Say that and then I erase. Okay, one eye I'm going to put up here, and one eye I'm going to put down here lower. And I see that I'm off the screen. Sorry. You know what I need to do? Let's just go like this, and then it'll quit doing that. All right, some final details. Did I lose anybody, or does anybody need another second? Raise your hand if you need just another second or two. Okay, if you don't. So right here, you see where the head comes up here? You kind of follow that. We're going to go right above it, and we're going to bring a line that comes out a slight diagonal and go over here and do the same thing, come a slight diagonal, and then we're going to put a curved top. We just put a big old top hat on that guy, okay? Same kind of hat if you ever see Guns N' Roses, the guitar player Slash wears one just like that. Or if you see some old black and white movies, you see this kind of stuff. So right here, this part of it we're going to color in black. Go right across the top. This is the bottom of the brim. Color that in black. Then we're going to come over here near this side, and we're going to put a line that parallels coming down the side of the hat here, and then another line parallel to that. We're going to color that in black. But don't go down through your brim. Okay, stop when you get to the brim right there. Now, back in the day when they made these hats, they were pretty dang shiny. At least from what I've seen from the movies, the old movies. I personally have never worn one or even seen one in real life. But this is going to be where the shiny part comes. So then I'm going to move over a way, so this is this wide, and I'm going to make the next spot wider. Okay, so it's wider from here to here than it is here to here. And then I'm going to color the right side all in black. I'm not trying to make it look like a striped hat. We're trying to make it look like a shiny hat. Hopefully everybody has something that looks similar to a hat on it. Then the nose here, I'm going to go intentionally at a diagonal, and I'm putting some lines through it. I don't want it to be black, but I want them all going the same way. That's on purpose. So if this was in color, his nose would look more red. And what we've got here is we got a guy that went out on New Year's and had just a little too much fun. So we got, put a little expression under this side by putting a little line, maybe another one over here like that. Another one right here. I'm going to put some whiskers on him. We're almost done with him. We're going to go kind of quick because we're almost finished here. And then we're going to draw some little circles here and there. And they're little tiny ones. And then we're going to have some that look like they just burst. So this guy had one too many 7-Ups. You're like, 7-Up doesn't do that. Well, in this case it does. Right. And so there's your little guy that had a little too much fun on New Year's, drinking way too much 7-Up. So in case anybody asks. All right, we got 3 cartoons done today. That's awesome. That's pretty darn good for a shortened class. So let's go ahead, have you just unfold them completely. Make sure your first and last name's on the back. Put them on the back table. We'll have some more fun with this next week. But I won't see all y'all till Tuesday. So have a great weekend. Bye. Yep, goodbye. You're a son.